Hi, and welcome to Zoo 148, Mammalogy. I am Ana Pauline Odiglia. You may just call me Mom Pao, and I am your lecturer for this semester. I am a professor of zoology at the Animal Biology Division in the Institute of Biological Sciences. I graduated with BS Zoology and MS Wildlife Studies degrees from UP Los Baños and obtained my PhD in Environmental Resources from Hokkaido University in Sapporo, Japan. Zoo 148 is a 3-unit course with 1 hour of lecture and 6 hours of laboratory every week. The course description is Taxonomy of Philippine Mammals, Biology and Ecology of Important Species, Collection and Preparation for Scientific Study. After taking the course, the students must be able to 1. Classify mammalian species using taxonomic keys. 2. Compare taxonomic classification based on morphological characters. 3. Relate mammalian morphology and physiology with adaptation to their natural habitat. 4. Conduct research using standard techniques in mammalogy. And 5. Integrate concepts in mammalogy vis-a-vis current environmental, socioeconomic, and cultural issues in relation to conservation problems. For the course outline, we will be discussing different topics. For topic 1, Introduction. 2, Diversity of mammals. 3, Origin of mammals. 4, Mammalian integument. 5, Trophic adaptations of mammals. 6, Mammalian locomotory adaptations. 7, Homeostasis and its maintenance. And the last topic is Reproduction in mammals. For your lecture course requirements, quizzes will comprise 40% of your final lecture grade. Assignments, 40% of your final lecture grade. Creative work, 10% of your final lecture grade. And participation in discussion forum, 10% of your final lecture grade. Quizzes will be given in lieu of long exams via Google Form link, which will be sent to you via email. Coverage will be the contents of 3-week lessons. There will be a total of 4 quizzes worth 25 points each for a total of 100 points. Note that all quizzes must be accomplished individually. Most of your submissions will be in the form of assignments. That's why it will comprise 40% of your final lecture grade. Assignments vary among the topics and will entail further research or access to other learning resources for you to answer the topic questions. You have 1 creative output and will be in the form of a handwritten short story. You may add illustrations to your story. Just make sure your work will show the answers to the discussion question. You also have 1 participation in discussion forum, so you are expected to contribute at least 2 postings, a post and a comment to a post. Okay, let's start. So what is mammalogy? Mammalogy is the branch of zoology that deals with the study of mammals. Mammals come in different forms and different sizes. Small mammals have adult weights of up to 1 kilogram. Medium mammals have adult weights of up to 20 kilograms. And large mammals have adult weights of more than 20 kilograms. Mammals belong to phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, and under class Mammalia, there are 2 subclasses, Prototheria, the monotremes, and subclass Theria, consisting of infraclass Marsupialia or Metatheria and infraclass Placentalia or Eutheria. Mammals are endothermic. meaning mammals have the ability to derive heat from within. Until only recently, this was thought to be a characteristic shared only with birds. In 2015, a paper was published on the OPA. It's the fish guys, or Lampris guttatus. The research described OPA as able to circulate heated blood throughout its body, much like mammals and birds, which gives it a competitive advantage in the cold ocean depths. Can you think of the advantages and disadvantages of endothermy? Mammals are also homeothermic, or they have the ability to maintain a constant warm body temperature. If you compare a bobcat and a snake, which is an ectotherm, the snake will have a body temperature similar to the ambient temperature, but the bobcat's temperature remains constantly warm. Within the skin or integument are some of the unique mammalian features, like hair, which consists of dead epidermal cells that grow from living cells in the hair root. It consists of a middle medulla surrounded by the cortex, and the outermost layer is the cuticle. Sebaceous glands are closely associated with the hair follicle and provide lubrication, while sweat glands are for thermoregulation. Summer is closely creeping in, and our sweat glands will be at work again. Most mammals do not sweat as much as we do. Ever wonder where your dog's sweat glands are? They are located on the pads of their feet and on their nose. Mammary glands are, of course, unique mammalian features that in females function to nourish their young. Rats have 6 pairs. Pigs have 9 pairs. Bats have a pair situated in the axillary region. Elephants have a pair much similar to humans in the pectoral region. Whales and dolphins have mammary slits, which are special folds of the skin that surround the mammary glands to protect them. Also unique to mammals are the muscular diaphragm, enucleated erythrocytes, and the left aortic arc. So far, we have only seen unique characteristics that are referred to as soft anatomy because they do not fossilize. The unique mammalian characters found in the skull and lower jaw allow the identification of even primitive mammals. Mammals have a single lower jawbone, the dentary. And what sets aside mammals from mammal-like reptiles, as you will see later on when we go to the origins of mammals, is the single articulation between the dentary and the squamosal. Mammals have 3 middle ear bones, the incus, the malleus, and the stapes. Mammals also have an enlarged temporal fossa onto which chewing muscles are attached, possess different kinds of teeth or heterodonty, and at the base of the foramen magnum is a double occipital condyle. These mammalian characteristics serve to further intelligence and sensibility. For example, the 3 middle ear bones for acute hearing. Promote endothermy by the presence of hair. Increase efficiency in reproduction through parental care, in particular nourishment of their young with milk. And increase securing and processing of food by having a strong lower jawbone, attachment for chewing muscles, and having different kinds of teeth, especially the molars. In living mammals, typical endothermic temperature physiology of mammals is characterized by high basal or resting metabolic rate, or BMR, which is more than or greater than 5 to 10 times that of ectotherms. Higher body temperature ranging from 28 to 40 degrees centigrade. Maintenance of core body temperature at a remarkably constant value, varying only from 1 to 2 degrees centigrade. And elevated capacity of sustained maximum aerobic metabolic rate of more than 5 to 10 times. As to the origin of endothermy, one theory suggests that endothermy functioned for thermoregulation for a variety of reasons. For example, varying environmental temperatures, which eventually allowed mammals to be active at night. Higher degree of organizational complexity. Larger brain with 5 to 10% of BMR. And parental care. Another theory is that it was for increased aerobic activity, for increased ventilation capacity, and for increased parental provisioning. The figure shows, though, how a 10% increase in mitochondrial number would have had an instant incremental effect on both thermoregulation and increased aerobic activity. Where do mammals derive the endogenous heat? One is from muscular work or locomotor activity. 2, from shivering thermogenesis. 3, the intrinsic high metabolic rate. 4, brown adipose tissue or regulatory non-shivering thermogenesis. And possibly controllable non-shivering thermogenesis in skeletal muscles. A unique organ, brown adipose tissue, exists in mammals. Heat production is one of the functions of BAT. Brown adipose tissue is especially abundant in newborns and in hibernating mammals. It is also present and metabolically active in adult humans, but its prevalence decreases as humans age. The depots of brown adipose tissue have similar distributions in both sexes, but the mass and activity of BAT are greater in women than in men, even lesser in obese or overweight men. Small mammalian hibernators like bats have evolved the greatest capacity for BAT because they use it to rewarm from hypothermia numerous times throughout their hibernation. Even though mammals are endothermic and homeothermic, they are of course still affected by extreme weather conditions. In cold environments, how do mammals minimize heat loss? One is through insulation through hair and the layer of fat in the hypodermis. Another is through dormancy, an effective means to conserve energy. Endotherms become heterothermic when the costs of thermoregulation are high and or when limited energy availability constrains thermoregulatory capacity. One type is called torpor, where there is decreased physiological activity, there is self-induced lowering of body temperature, there is immobility but not necessarily unconsciousness. Torpor is periodically interrupted by arousals to normothermia that usually last for less than a day. Another is through hibernation. Hibernation is often used loosely to refer to general inactivity, but in biology it refers to a specific phenomenon, sometimes called true hibernation. Hibernation is defined as the condition of passing the winter in a resting state of deep sleep, during which metabolic rate and body temperature drop considerably. Temperatures can drop from 2 to 10 degrees centigrade. The Arctic ground squirrel can have a body temperature of -3 degrees centigrade. It is an obligate hibernator. Oxygen consumption will hold at 2 to 3% of the aroused condition, heart rate from 3 to 10 beats per minute, and this will last from days to weeks. Hibernating mammals are only small, weighing less than 10 kilograms. Knowing that now, the question is, do bears hibernate? For marine mammals, adaptations to the cold environment include a low surface area to volume ratio. This decreases the relative area through which heat may be lost. Reducing thermal conduction. Sea otter and fur seals have waterproof fur. Some also have blubber, which is 30% of their total body weight for extra insulation. Another is through migration to warmer climate. So how do mammals adapt to warm environment? Being in a tropical country, we can relate to this. One is through sweating. Other mammals pant or spread saliva or retreat in caves or burrows, or they can also go into dormancy or what is called as estivation. Others would increase their body temperature. For example, camels as high as 40 degrees centigrade. And of course, the fur will also be a protection from the warm environment. In a study between red and eastern gray kangaroos, in environments with 45 degrees centigrade temperatures, both species relied on evaporative heat loss or EHL. Eastern gray kangaroos utilized panting as 76% of EHL, and while this was true for the red kangaroos, cutaneous evaporative heat loss or CHL was also significant. CEHL appeared to be mainly through licking. Instead of a biconcave disc-shaped red blood cells, the camel, a desert mammal, has bilaminar oval wafer-shaped erythrocytes, which is low in volume but rich in hemoglobin. The erythrocyte resists influx or outflow of water, as does the plasma, and helps the camelids during drastic dehydration. The blood flows normally even when the tissues are dehydrated. The bilaminar oval also helps in hypoxic montane habitats. The high body temperatures of mammals have allowed them to be totally independent of environmental temperatures. Have faster central nervous system function for information acquisition, processing, and response. Have fast and coordinated biochemical reactions which are enzyme catalyzed. Have low muscular viscosity, which reduces internal friction for more rapid, forceful contractions and faster response times. And of course, have allowed mammals to be active at night. Some of the adaptations for the nocturnal existence of mammals include big eyes, which are packed with rods. Another is the presence of a tapetum lucidum, which is a thick reflective membrane about 15 cells wide, which collects and re-emits light back to the retina. It gives rods a second chance to absorb image information, thus maximizing little light available to them. As light is reflected off the tapetum, animals' eyes appear to glow. Another is through echolocation, like insect bats, while others rely on their sense of smell. What are the disadvantages of a high body temperature? For one, it is energy expensive. So mammals have to feed many times daily. As humans, we may not see it as a disadvantage because humans have learned to farm and have a steady supply of food. But think about the other mammals that have to forage or hunt to feed. Only a portion of their energy can be allotted for their growth and reproduction. Thank you for listening. You may now proceed with your learning activity.